How's it going, Jack Attackers, and welcome back to another video for you guys. Today, I'm going to be doing my review for the final issue of the Walking Dead comic series, that being issue 193, entitled The Farmhouse. So without further ado, let's just get into this. Now, I know I pretty much have never really talked about the Walking Dead comics on my channel since I mainly just talk about the show, but I mean, I kind of felt obligated to do this video since this is, in fact, the final issue of this series, and I don't know, to be honest, I was just shocked when the news came out 2 days ago about it being the last issue. Supposedly, Robert Kirkman really just did it for the surprise factor, which I kind of hate if I'm being honest, but I was still excited to see how the story wrapped up, and it just feels so weird this being the final issue, since, like, I've been reading this comic for a while now. I think 3 or 4 years, like, at least, which I know isn't as long as some people, since I think it started way back in 2003, the year I was born, but this comic had been a huge part of my life for the past few years, and for it to just be done, I don't know, it's just kind of crazy, but anyway, I just wanted to quickly give my thoughts on the series finally ending, so let's actually get into the review part of this video. So overall, I will say I do like this ending for the series. I think it ended the way it always should have. Now, first things first, if you have not read this issue, like, don't watch any further because this review will contain some pretty major spoilers, but I do think The Walking Dead should have always ended with Rick Grimes sort of being this legend-like figure and him being the reason people, could start to rebuild the world, and that's how this issue ultimately ended. I just really love that aspect. So at the beginning of this issue, we do realize there is in fact a time skip, and Carl is basically now a man. And I'm gonna guess it was like a time skip of maybe 15 to 20 years at most, but with Carl reading to his daughter, who he named Andrea, that story about Rick, that was so surreal, and like, it's just amazing. Also, Carl is, I guess, married to Sophia, which I like because, I mean, they've been through so much together, and I should mention we do see Lydia again, which was cool since we hadn't really seen her in a while, and it was just nice to see her and Carl interact. I also like that they had built a statue of Rick to remember him. That was perfect. In terms of how the other character arcs ended, I think I like most of them. Michonne became a judge and finally was able to live peacefully. And then Maggie became the president, I guess, which was really cool since she was always a leader type figure. Eugene also was working on a railway, with the trains, which is what his characters should do, I think, help create a better world. Now, I know some people could be disappointed with Negan's arc, but I mean, we still did see him in a really quick panel. He just didn't really have any dialogue, but I do think his story had actually already ended a few issues ago. He was, a bad man and then decided to just leave and never be like that ever again. He wanted to be better. We also see Hershel all grown up in this issue, which was really just crazy. Though he's kind of a dick, to be honest. He captures walkers and allows people to pay money to see them, which is weird. It is somewhat of a cool concept, but also, it's weird at the same time. Ultimately, this leads to Carl being put on trial because he killed one of Hershel's walkers, though everything gets resolved with that, and Carl gets off the hook, which is good. I do want to mention Michonne's speech she gave too, which, funny enough, it's like a bit of an Easter egg. She actually restates what is written on the back of every volume of the Walking Dead comics, and yeah, that was neat. But that moment in this issue, that honestly gave me some chills, I ain't gonna lie. But, yeah, I mean, overall, this was a really solid ending to the series, and I'm satisfied. I'm sad, but, I'm satisfied. But, yeah, The Walking Dead, it'll always be my favorite comic series of all time, that's for sure.